Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Automotive World. I'm your host, Vinny Mestri, and tonight we have got some more news from the New York Auto Show. Sit back, relax. This is going to be a long one. We have some big things, big talking points. Obviously, a comprehensive refresh, exterior-wise, interior-wise, safety-wise, infotainment-wise, software-wise. We do have 3 different powertrains. All of them are ICE variants, 2 of them with forms of electrification, which we're going to talk about that. We've got some new drive modes, including baby mode. I know what you're thinking. It's a bit weird. It's not what you thought baby mode was. And we've got XRT variants. So let's get right into this. Obviously here with the 2025 refresh Tucson, they say, it's going to continue to build onto their sporty design and things like that. We do have here something that we did not have on the K4, that the 2025 Tucson models with the 2.5 liter engine will arrive at US dealerships in June, while the 1.6 liter turbo hybrid and plug-in hybrid models will be available late summer. So we don't know when late summer those 1.6 liter hybrid turbo models are going to be available, but we do know 2.5 liter models are going to be available here in US dealerships in June, which really at this point it's coming up. It's really just a little bit more over than a month. Let's start off though with what we have here. We have a new XRT line for Tucson. We've got an N line for Tucson. We have 3 different powertrains: a regular ICE engine, an ICE engine with a plug-in hybrid, and an ICE engine with a just traditional hybrid. And those plug-in hybrid engines are going to have turbos. So we've got different engines here focused on fuel economy, focused on performance, and then just a normal kind of run-of-the-mill engine. In terms of our exterior design enhancements, we see with the vehicle here, we still have the dual headlights and things. Clearly they've, the vehicle's not as round as it used to be. It's a lot more, it's shaped a lot more, it's sharper. It's got, we can see more of the lines and things in there. I think it's really, really nice. They went for the sophisticated kind of look. Really, really nice here. We've got a new redesigned front and rear bumper fascia, updated daytime running lights, a new headlight signature. We've got on the rear wiper blade, it's going to be longer, 75 millimeter longer. We've got a bigger windshield, so we have improved visibility. We just have the exterior. Obviously there has been things done. We could almost say it's not necessarily too bold, but it's a nice upgrade. You can almost, I don't want to say subtle because that's not fair, but it's a really nice just refinement off of what they built on before. With the new XRT trim, we're going to have roof side rails and others type of options that are going to be outdoor oriented on the XRT. I will be honest though, the XRT version on the Tucson is not like the one that we're going to see on the Santa Cruz, but we'll get into that as well. With the redesigned interior and infotainment system, this is really one of the biggest, if not the biggest, upgrade to this vehicle. We've got a lot more tech. We've got 2 12.3 inch displays. One is going to be just a straight up normal instrument cluster that is going to have things like, your speedometer and things like that. The other one is going to be purely for your entertainment and specifically, obviously, your infotainment system. So we have in total about 25 to, with the borders and everything, over 24 inches of screen real estate here. This is going to be a really, really large screen. We also do know that the center of the vehicle, the stack, has been redesigned. The old system for the Santa Cruz and the Tucson, it was one system. It was the head unit on the inside, piano black everywhere, capacitive buttons. Not really a fan of those. This is a split system, which I'll show you. It's actually right here, and I'll show you that later in the images for the Santa Cruz, because it's literally the exact same, literally. We do have physical buttons. Kia did add those on the K4. Hyundai has added them both for the Santa Cruz and the Tucson. We do have physical buttons there for things like air conditioning, HVAC controls, and audio and volume tuning. So we do have some physical controls on the screen on that split view there. The rest of those buttons that are on there are going to be touch capacitive buttons. They are not going to be physical buttons like on the K4, but we do have some physical buttons back especially for the HVAC and the volume and audio tuning. That's going to be really, really nice to have. We do have a new dashboard tray, which is located above the glove box on the actual top of the vehicle. That's going to give us some even more storage there, especially for our front passengers. On the premium models, we're going to have shift-by-wire function. The transmission will be controlled by a column-mounted gear selector. So there won't be a gear selector in the middle of the stack. It's going to be a column-mounted. I love either center stack or column mounted. I hate push button transmissions, so Hyundai, thanks for doing a column mounted one. I really like that. The larger 12.3 inch display there, as we can see here, it's a very large screen. It is angled towards the driver, so it does give them a better field of view so they can see. This new system is obviously going to be faster. It's going to have better graphics, better colors, an improved intuitive layout, which you can change. We are going to have wireless charging on both of these vehicles up to 15 watt. So it is a pretty fast charger. You're not going to have to worry about being, trickle charging your phone running out of charge while it's actually, charging on there. This is a really nice system. And a big thing for both the Santa Cruz and the Tucson, just like the K4, we have over-the-air updates. So this system is going to grow. The over-the-air updates are going to be everything from safety systems to the infotainment, even for ECU tuning. So the car is really only going to get better in time. For just like on the K4, Hyundai did think of the comfort and the noise. We do have some acoustic laminated front side windows, some acoustic glass to reduce the interior noise. We also do have the available heated steering wheel and rear seat heaters now for an additional temperature setting. Those are going to be available on the XRT models as well, and the XRT models will have embossing on the front seats and the seat backs. For the technology, now we've got a lot of technology. As I mentioned, we've already got over-the-air updates. That's going to give us a bunch of things like ECU tunes, powertrain software, safety, multimedia, things for maps and things like that, navigation. We've got the integrated memory system for both power seats for the driver's seat, outside mirror. We've got front passengers. All the vehicles are going to have USB-C. They're going to have a USB charging port on the side. The USB-C charging ports are going to have 27 watt charging capability, so super fast charging in the USB-C ports. Really good amount of power output wattage wise there. Across all new Tucsons and Santa Cruzes, no matter what trim you get, just like the K4, we're going to have standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We also have the new 12-inch color heads-up display. It's going to have all new graphics and things. It's going to be able to do everything that you normally could do. It's going to show your speed limits. It's going to show you your heads-up, your turn-by-turn directions, no matter which system you're using, and as well as a few other new things as well that it's going to show as well. We also do have on here a new biometric system. This car is going to have a fingerprint scanner. We also are going to have Hyundai's new payment system on here, as well as Digital Key 2. The new fingerprint scanner is going to allow you to start the car essentially without having the key fob. So like with Digital Key 2, just like we're used to, you can unlock the car, start the vehicle. We're going to have obviously Bluetooth, low energy, NFC, and ultra wideband. The reason we have Digital Key 2 is, you don't have, if somebody wants to borrow your car, you don't have to give them the key fob. You can just send them a text message to their phone. They can use their phone, whether it's an Android phone or an Apple phone, and just put it up to the car, and they can start the car and do all of that. So we have that advanced biometric authentication here. We also have some more services. Obviously, we have new BlueLink Plus safety features. We have our auto collision assistance, the SOS system. We have all the usual remote diagnostics and things. Over-the-air updates, which is going to include those ECU tune updates. So this vehicle is going to get updates just overall. This vehicle will only have a larger amount of support through its product life cycle. We do have with the LTE network, we are going to have Wi-Fi in the vehicle. Supporting 4G LTE network. We're going to have Hyundai Pay. This is a new service that Hyundai's rolling out. They've claimed right now they've got about 6,000 different vendors from places like gas station and parking spots, you can just pay directly with the vehicle. The vehicle is going to securely store credit card information. That way you don't have to get out, you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to worry about, skimming and things like that. That's really, really interesting. Really interesting to see Hyundai integrate something like that into the vehicles. We're also going to have a new feature for HVAC. This is something very common that I've experienced with multiple vehicles, from Hondas, Mazdas, Nissans, Kias, every one of them. Living in Florida, super hot, super humid, because of condensation and things like that. Sometimes water can get stuck and not drain properly in certain pans and things in the HVAC system. That can give you that really, really disgusting, like vinegar, moldy smell when you start the vehicle. Hyundai says they have a new feature for the AC ventilation system, specifically on the shutdown, to help reduce that condensation odors caused by that excessive humidity. So it's going to be interesting to see if that works, but it's good to see Hyundai thinking of that for the consumer. We've also got now our actual safety features. We're going to talk about them. We have forward attention warning. So this is going to be used a series of infrared cameras to make sure that the driver is, paying attention, looking at the road. It's going to be able to tell if the eyes are gazing, if they're nodding off, they're looking off somewhere. And it's going to give them a variety of different cues, audio and visual, as well as haptic in the wheel and the steering wheel to, make sure that they can get their attention to be looking at the road. We're also going to have Smart Cruise Control 2. That's going to also work hand in hand to continuously assess the driver's alertness. It'll play some sounds and things. If they think the driver's on alert, it can also bring the vehicle to a complete stop, activate the hazard lights, and electronic parking brake once the vehicle is stopped. Additionally, too, we'll have rear passenger seat belts now with standard pretensioners and load limiters. So this is really, really interesting. So the fact that we can bring the vehicle to a complete stop, it will be a bit interesting to see how the system works, especially like if it's on a highway or something. But the fact that, it's going to be able to bring the vehicle to a complete stop, activate hazard lights, and then parking brake, it's a really good thing to see. For our powertrain, we have multiple powertrains. We're going to start off with the 2.5 liter direct injection and multi-port injection gasoline engine. There's also going to be a 1.6 liter turbo that's going to come in a normal hybrid and a plug-in hybrid as well. With the normal 2.5 liter though, we got 187 horsepower at 6,100 RPM and 178 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. And that's thanks to the high efficiency combustion and with the new 8-speed automatic transmission that's standard in that vehicle. They have optimized the transmission. They're saying with the new transmission you're going to get quicker, crisper shifts, and as well as smoother shifts at a better efficiency because of where they've tuned the engines and the RPMs for that transmission. For the hybrid plug-in powertrains, so we've got two hybrid powertrains. We've got a normal hybrid and a plug-in hybrid. Both of them are going to have a 1.6 liter turbo engine. For the first one, the 1.6 liter turbo engine, it's going to produce 178 horsepower with 195 pound-feet of torque. With the normal hybrid system, it's going to give you a 47.7 kilowatt battery that's up from 44.2. With the 47.7 kilowatt battery and the standard 1.6 turbo engine, that's going to give you a combined total system hybrid horsepower of 231 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. With the plug-in hybrid, the torque is going to stay the same at 258 pound-feet of torque. However, we do get a larger electric motor at 72 kilowatts. So, with the plug-in hybrid, we get 268 horsepower. That is a little bit more, almost close to 40 more horsepower than the normal hybrid system, with the torque being the same. But because of that larger electric motor at 72 kilowatts, which was increased from 66.9, we do get a lot more horsepower. Both of these are going to be lithium-ion batteries. Level 2 charging is going to be accessible on them. With level 2 charging, for the plug-in hybrid, it is going to take less than 2 hours to charge the battery. And that's, using its onboard charger at 7.2 kilowatts. In terms of the shared hybrid technologies, obviously we're going to have the all-wheel drive system, Hyundai's H-Track system. We've seen this in a lot of their vehicles. It's extremely, extremely nice with different driving modes. You're going to have your normal driving mode, your sport, snow and eco and things like that. We do have a new driving mode. We're gonna have some sub menus within those driving modes to customize it as usual. We do have a new mode called baby mode. What the baby mode is essentially it's going to soften the acceleration and make it more gentle. So for those passengers who are a little bit more sensitive, you'll be able to put on baby mode, and you'll have gentler inputs of acceleration, so it won't be as harsh. Obviously, with our hybrid modes and our plug-in hybrids, we will have a pure EV mode and new green zone driving modes. That way we can optimize, if you're at low speed, you don't have to use any fuel, you can just use the battery. And that sport setting as well with the Tucson is also going to send additional torque to the rear wheels. So we've got a host of different driving modes here, ways we can we can customize the sport mode. The baby mode's a bit interesting. It just sounds kind of like an eco mode to me, but it's what we've got, and we've got a host of different driving modes here. So that's really, really good. Obviously, we have on here also their e-motion driving dynamics. That's just going to help them with the electric motor in terms of the torque control. So when you're turning in things, you'll have that improved cornering. Just get a little bit more, what they say, fun to drive dynamics. Just helps you out with cornering, especially looking at the torque figure, seeing which wheels are moving at what speed to just help you corner a little bit sharper. That's pretty much the Hyundai Tucson here. We're going to go to the Santa Cruz. This is pretty much the same vehicle. Same platform. It's gonna have the same features as I just mentioned. Same standard wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We do have some, other safety features. Pretty much the same. We do have a new updated XRT model, but this one is different. So we're gonna get into the Santa Cruz here, and I'll show you some pictures of the Santa Cruz interior and the Tucson interior. It's pretty much the same. With the XRT model, this is the new XRT model on our Hyundai Santa Cruz. We see the new lighting signature. It looks really, really nice. With the Santa Cruz, we have on XRT models, you now get standard all-terrain tires, which is really, really nice to see. We're going to get front tow hooks. We're going to get improved off-road capability. Hyundai's not saying we're getting a lift, but what we're getting, if you see from the front here, you can see the difference in the bumper. And I'll show you a limited model here in a second, which we can see here. Because of on the XRT models, the bumper fascia that we get a better approach angle. We get a better initial approach angle. So with the XRT, we get a better initial approach angle. We get front tow hooks. And we get, like I said, all-terrain tires, which is really, really nice to see out of this. If we go down a little bit more, we've got it pretty much here. This is going to be a shorter article. New front and rear bumper fascia, new front grille, front tow hooks, wrench-inspired 18-inch design wheels. We have the size of our 18-inch all-terrain tires, the increased approach angle because of the bumper and things. The XRT trim is going to add the surround view monitor and blind spot view monitor. And then in the upper seat backs, we're going to have the logo embossing in the seats. This is the interior here that the Santa Cruz and the Tucson have. Let me go back to it. I'm so sorry about that. As we can see here, I'll get a picture here we can download and we'll go into it. But it's literally the same interior. Here we're going to have a new instrument panel, same exact screen as we saw on the other picture, same controls. We have the volume controls and the air con controls, physical buttons down here with the haptic buttons, column shifter, I'm sorry, not column shifter, we have a stack shifter here. We've got, like I said, it's a copy paste on the interior, two 12.3-inch screens, angled towards the driver. We do have audio video navigation. Like I said, we do have physical buttons on the HVAC control, new air vents, obviously a new steering wheel. We do also have, with the Santa Cruz, like I said, very similar features: wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, over-the-air updates. That is going to be for both software and firmware, so for both engine ECU tunes and infotainment. USB-C ports at the same wattage with wireless charging as well. The same BlueLink Plus features, the same Hyundai Pay and Carmen system, which is the new Hyundai Pay, the same digital key 2, the same integrated memory system for the seats and the mirrors. We do have, though, with limited and XRT only on the 2.5 liter turbocharged powertrain, we do have a new towing mode, which is going to be very interesting. They don't tell us anything about the new towing mode. I'm assuming it's probably just going to have to do with, changing the RPM, and obviously the biggest thing with towing is a change in the gearing. But we will see how that turns out. We have on the Tucson, we have the forward attention warning using the infrared cameras. We do have two new color choices here. We can see the limited version here with the new lights and the new lighting signature. We see the new bumper here, how it is lower, so it doesn't have that same approach angle. We have the same engines as we did before in the previous Santa Cruz. It is a complete carryover, copy paste. The 2.5 liter direct injected 4-cylinder, 191 horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque, to the 8-speed automatic traditional torque converter transmission. And then we've got the turbo model, 281 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, going to that dual clutch transmission. Because of that as well, like I said, with the 8-speed, they have said that they've made some improvements to the 8-speed to make it smoother, crisper, and faster. Using downside oil pump, double ball bearings to minimize frictional losses, expanding the direct connection band, improving the hydraulic channel in the torque converter with a multi-disc controlled hydraulic channel. Same H-track all-wheel drive system. Towing numbers are going to stay the same in the previous Santa Cruz. So in the previous Santa Cruz, with the non-turbo engine, you get 3,500 pounds of towing, max towing. With the all-wheel drive, you're going to get the same 5,000 pounds of max towing. It's really nice to see that. I wish they would offer the turbo without the dual clutch, because personally I just don't feel comfortable towing 5,000 pounds in a vehicle like this, especially with a dual clutch. That is what Hyundai chose, though. So essentially, H-track system, towing, powertrain, it's the same. It's a copy paste. What we have, though, is a redesigned exterior. We have a new interior, new safety features, new infotainment system. We do have, like I said, with XRT, we are going to get standard all-terrain tires, front tow hooks, and because of the different bumper, we're going to get that increased initial ground clearance. For the Santa Cruz, Hyundai is not claiming or saying any pricing information or when specifically this vehicle will be on sale or to dealers. We do know in about a little bit more than a month from now, the standard Tucson will be available in the 2.5 liter engine. I would assume the Santa Cruz will be close to follow, but we do not have any official figures yet. What we would like to do, though, is I would like to show you guys the interior properly, get you a proper picture of it. So let me get you some really, really nice pictures here. That way we can actually look at this. And I'm just going to show you this one picture. I'll get one from the Tucson as well. But it's literally the same picture. It's the same interior. Literally all they did with the Tucson is the seats are different colors. So let's open this up. What we have here, we have a really nice high-res picture. We've got a really nice interior, very similar to the K4. We have right here. So we have stack shifter. We've got diff, auto hold, your little different driving mode stuff here. USB-C here. We've got inside there, we'll have where our wireless charging is. So in the old system, it was one head unit coming down with piano black everywhere, and then this was all touch haptic controls, little touch screens and things. We have the head unit up here, all one piece. It is two different 12.3 inch screens, but it is one piece, and we can see it's angled towards the driver. We have down here, we do have a mix. So we have physical power, volume tuning knobs. We do have physical for temperature, HVAC control. We also do have, like, for the home button and for search and track seeking things, we have physical buttons up there. However, for the for the HVAC controls, other than temperature changing, we do have the haptic buttons down here. So the haptic buttons did somehow sneak their way in there, but I do think that this, especially because it's separated and it's not going to make this dirty up here being one unit, I think that this is an improvement over the previous system. We have our our push to start right there on our steering wheel here. We don't have really a logo on there, but we do have nice physical buttons, no haptics or anything. Really nice physical buttons with some knobs here. That's really, really nice to see. We've got our window controls there. We can kind of see over, there'll be like some storage right over here. So on the passenger side right here, they were talking about that little cubby space right above the glove box. Here's the storage right here. So it's not over the hood, but it's just right over the vents there. So it's really nice, really easy to access for the passenger. We have some more window controls there. And pretty much what you'd expect. We have the, the glove box or right here. We've got our center console right here. It's a really, really nice update. It's really, really nice to see that. It's clean, it's minimal. They added, I think, just enough buttons. I would have loved to have seen these air conditioning buttons also turn physical, because in my opinion, you're going to press these buttons more than you're going to press these buttons, and because they are haptic buttons, they're probably going to be fingerprint resistant. They do look pretty dark though, in terms of like, is it piano blacks? I'm not really able to tell here, but they do look pretty dark, so maybe we'll be able to get away with it. Let me show you guys, the Tucson interior. And literally I'm going to show you the interior. Like I said, it's literally the exact same interior. I'm not even joking, it's a copy paste. You guys gotta remember, these two vehicles are on the same platform. It's literally a copy paste. All they did was change the seat color and things. So that's it right there. Obviously we can see here there's a column shifter. There is no shifter down here in the console. So we have a column shifter, but other than that, we have the same knobs. We can see right now this vehicle wasn't turned on, but we can see how it would look if it was turned on. The same row, same controls, same HVAC, same cubby up here. Oop, excuse me. We've got the same controls in the steering wheel, same buttons. It's literally the exact same interior, except we have a column shifter. And then this is going to be we've got our NFC here, so you can put our phone down here. That's going to be really nice. We can charge it there and things, but it's literally the exact same interior, same buttons and everything, same exact screen. It's a nice interior. I think Hyundai did a really, really nice job. I think they did a really, really nice job with this. I just think that with the Tucson though, that they didn't add any tow hooks or anything like that to the XRT model, so I think they kind of missed out there. I just really feel on the Santa Cruz that they really went all out with the XRT model on there. Like, this is the XRT model here. If we download this, it's just really, I mean, we do have some different tires there. We do have some different Kumo tires here. These do look like to be an all-terrain tire. I wouldn't say this is like a true all-terrain tire though. This is just kind of one of those like all-season tires that looks a little bit more aggressive per se. Obviously we do have like a different kind of hexagonal wheel shape there, which looks really nice. But really the thing is, on like, if you look at the Tucson, the XRT is really just a package. It's really just an appearance package. It's just a little kind of a body kit essentially, versus on the even on the N line here, I mean, versus on the Santa Cruz, it's like you can really just see that it was more than just an appearance package or a trim package. For that reason, I think the Santa Cruz actually did better. I actually think too that this design, the way that the headlights work with the new signature on the Santa Cruz, look a lot better than the Tucson. I think it looks much more uniform and squared off. I think they both look really good, but I think the Santa Cruz just looks better. Whichever angle we look at. I mean, if we download the photo here, I mean, let's view it. I mean, we can clearly see this is not using Kumo tires. This is using Continental tires, versus where the Kumos looked like an all-terrain, but really it was just an all-season that looked a little bit more aggressive. These are all-terrain tires. Obviously, too, look, they're not going to put, like, the best all-terrain tires on here, but the fact that this is a, proper all-terrain, even if it's an entry-level tire, It's really good. The way that the headlights work here, you know, the fog lights here. I mean, this, you know, we can see our tow hooks right here. This is really, really nice. I really like this vehicle. And if we look down here, even with the limited trim, it looks really nice and subtle. And if we go down, let's see if we can get, we have a whole host of pictures here. We do have it doing some off-roading here. We've got some pictures of, you know, the back seat here. In terms of the dimensions stayed the same. It is a compact unibody truck, or sport adventure vehicle, as Hyundai likes to call it. So it is going to be a little bit tight in the back. We still have the same drive modes, the normal, sport, smart, snow. The drive modes that the Tucson had, like the baby mode and all that, that is not in the Santa Cruz. I don't think it was, obviously, because that's more of a family vehicle, so I wasn't expecting it to be here. I'm not sure why they didn't necessarily add that, though. So that's just another little thing. Some of the drive modes are a bit different. But if we look here, we've got them both side by side here. And I mean, you can just, obviously you can see the difference in the fascia and all that, but it's, I mean, I just think these two vehicles look really, really good side by side, both the Limited and the XRT. It's a shame that Subaru is not making the Baja anymore, because this would be a great time to make one. I mean, they would sell a ton of them. But I mean, like I said, this vehicle looks really, really nice. We can see the screen here, how it is curved towards the driver. I think this is a really good job. I think Hyundai did a really, really nice job. I just personally think that the Santa Cruz is the better out of the two. But I think they did a great job overall. We'll have to see what the pricing is. We don't have any information on pricing or when it's going to arrive on dealer lots for the Santa Cruz. But I'm sure closer to the arrival date, we do know, like I said, with the Santa Cruz, or I'm sorry, with the Tucson, that we do know in June for the standard 2.5 liter, the non-hybrid versions, they are going to start delivering those to dealers. So I expect sometime soon, lingering along, will be the Santa Cruz right behind it. That's going to be it for our video today. That's pretty much all I have to say about it with my opinion given. I just think that the Santa Cruz clearly is the better model of the two. I think that, especially on the XRT trim, they really just, these upgrades that the Tucson got, it worked better on the Santa Cruz. The Santa Cruz looked better, I think. And really the XRT, like I said, the XRT trim on the Santa Cruz was actually had upgrades and it was functional. Versus where the XRT upgrades on the Tucson weren't really functional. It's just more of an appearance package in my mind. That being said, though, that's going to end this video here. Like I said, I think both of these vehicles did great. I think the Santa Cruz is the best one now. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back soon.